Mike Gill, State of Corruption. Did you think that I lost for governor that I would stop? Absolutely not. In fact, this video today is the most important video I've made in all these years of exposing corruption. This video ties them in with evidence that'll put them in jail. With a president who's interested, right? So in other words, we have our moment right here and now. And what I'm going to show you is going to change your state at the very highest level and its departments throughout the state, right? We're going to take them all out, all of them. Drain the swamp. That's exactly what we're doing. And trust me, Ground Zero, New Hampshire, you're a swampy son of a bitch, but we're going to flush these bastards right now. You ready? I'm going to show you. We have a tax return from 2011. My tax return, okay? That's forged, right? Under the instructions of Bill Shaheen. And Shaheen and Gordon. Alex Walker and Divine Millimat. Oh, by the way, Belker's got both these cases. Out of the hundreds of fucking judges out there, we get this pinhead back to back. But we're going to go on. There's a reason. There's a reason for all of this. It's going to all make sense. All right. Tax return forged. To leverage me. Criminally. You don't believe that? Well, this is what we call evidence. Here's a certification, one of the foremost experts in the United States saying that it's an absolute forgery. Wow. Now, when's the last time somebody forged your fucking tax return? Right? Right. Well, now we know that's true. And guess what else is true? I haven't filed my taxes in 5 fucking years. You know why? Because I didn't want to cover up this. And believe me, they owe me millions, so don't get your panties in a bunch. All right? But I did this to cover it up. They're trying to force me to cover that up. The DRA, the Banking Commission, right? Not the IRS. You can't find those fuckers with a search warrant. But let's prove it to you. We got a forgery. You want to know if Bill Shaheen's behind this? Why do you think Shaheen and Gordon is representing these fucking drug dealers? They're protecting their own ass too. They're doing business. They're getting rich together. But Shaheen knows I can put him in jail. I can put him in jail with this and the criminality that he's involved with his wife in the IRS. Well, how about this? There's our grand wizard of extortion. We're going to shove that right up your ass there, Billy boy. Now, Shaheen, Jean, she's been cited multiple times for targeting her enemies with the IRS. What the fuck do you think this is? But the bitch lost her cover. Right. Right. So guess what? We're going to turn around and start asking some questions. Now, do you remember the IRS? Now, I've been dealing with the criminal division of the IRS. Tom Morley. Right. And I called Tom because I found out I got a package in the mail from an accountant named Curtis Morley. Curtis Morley don't work for me. I don't have an accountant who got Curtis Morley. Tom Morley, Curtis Morley. I go, Tom. Call him up. Yes, Mike. You're not related to a Curtis Morley. I can never talk to you again. What? I've been giving you this criminal information. What the fuck you been doing? You can't talk to me because of Curtis? You're not related to him. Then he pinhead thinks he hangs up the phone. And I go to hang up the phone and realize he didn't. Now, I don't know if that's legal or not, but I don't give a fuck. Either is this. So, what we did here, Tom called a gentleman named Tim Campus, who's only the fucking adjutant general of the IRS, and we have them on video, and you get to hear them say it. I'll show you the post. It says, we have a mole in his company. What? The highest level of the IRS? Who do you think would have that kind of fucking juice? Huh? Clinton and Shaheen, exactly. That is the tool they've been using. I can only put them all in jail And if you don't think that, how is it the person in charge of the IRS at the very highest level is committing a crime? Did you hear that, Mr. Trump? I know you did. All right? There you go. So that's the level of this. This could put them in jail. Let's go on. Well, I had to have an accountant that did this. What the fuck do you do? Well, that accountant was Larry Schwartz. And you know who he worked for? Alex Walker's first cousin. Ain't that a bitch? You think that was an accident? That is the cover-up. And CCR. And they got bought out by Grant Thornton. Who knew all about it now, didn't you? Now, if we still don't believe he did the tax return and he put the information on what they call a tax return on the K-1 to make it taxable for the state of New Hampshire. Just know that they put it there incorrectly, which is why we had a fucking forgery, so they can leverage me, which the fuckers did. Except for Cohen, who did the taxes and was given it to Schwartz, said in a deposition that Walker had him put it there. Right. Sworn evidence. Corrupt evidence with his name on a forged fucking tax return. See? Keep working with me. Now, so now there was the cover-up of the accounts. The bank, and then we had the cover-up of the IRS. But who the fuck is Curtis Morley? Wasn't like Tom told us who he was. Well, let's see what when the IRS tried to squeeze me, didn't you there, Patrick Dillon? How'd that fucking work out for you, huh? Bet you didn't expect me. Well, guess what? Then Curtis sent me a package in the fucking mail. Let's see who it came from. Leviston and Goldberg. Yeah, not an Irish firm. Tell you what. They were communicating with the IRS the whole fucking time, right? Because they have to cover the IRS to say, we're sending you information. No, fuck you, did. That's why Curtis Morley's related to Tom Morley. And if you have a fucking question about it, they never opened them, assholes. There you go. How's that for fucking corruption? Oh, this is beautiful. It's called mail fraud too, by the way. We are going to have so much fun. We're going to get them all. You didn't think I could do it. Ha! All right. Did I tell you I was the world champion? Yeah. All right. So now, let's keep going. So now we have the accountants. The problem now is with the fucking bookkeeper, who happened to be Lisa Tracy, only my CPA, whose husband molested their daughter, and who got the case? Oh, I don't know. Judge Delker's best fucking buddy, the director of Shaheen and Gordon, Rosenberg. Right. How's that for a nice little package? You know what the chances of that happening is? It fucking can't. That's the chance. So now that they leveraged her to turn around and cover up the taxes, take money out of the business, turn around and hire corrupt attorneys and people to work for me, moles. You did hear them say they had a fucking mole. The Adjutant General of the IRS. What the fuck do you think they were talking about? So, what we got to do is Brian Toomey, Carrie Lemieux. Guess what? We have found a bunch of emails. You know who they were talking to? Curtis fucking Morley. They were covering up for the IRS. So when he said we have a mole, who the fuck do you think the mole is? Right. And when they turned around and we caught them, I only brought in one of my oldest friends. 2 heart attacks, 7 years old. But I knew I didn't trust these people, so I brought him in. What happened was, we found out the bastards were not only leveraging me, but they were stealing. Here are the criminal reports. Taking money out. Listen, this guy Toomey only furnished his fucking house out of the money for mortgage specialists. Are we confused? We must be, because the bitch at Plastow cop dismissed the case. Dismissed the fucking case. Did I tell you he furnished his house, fixed his car? And how about this? Put a $38,000 down payment on the fucking house. All courtesy of the mortgage specialist. Glad to fucking help. He stole the money, right? Now, that's Joe there reporting the crime with me, showing the detective Plastow of the police department. You made the board, by the way. The sign. Corruption, Plastow Police Department. Now, do you know what they did? Because now Joe has this. He's a witness to the crime. They can't give you Brian and Carrie because they only gave the information to Shaheen and Walker to fucking murder my ass. How's that? Right. You can't catch these guys. They put you in jail. You get a fucking pass. But we got a problem with my accountant. He can turn around and put him in jail. He's a witness. So you know what we do? We have the same fucking Salem Police Department call him up to leverage him. Right. You find that coincidence? Who do you think leveraged Lisa Tracy? The Salem Police Department. All under commands of Bill Shaheen and Alex Walker. Unless you think these guys just do this on their fucking own. Have you met some of these assholes? Right. Under instructions, the fucking Nazis. There you go. So that proves that they're even trying to affect that. Now we got Walker, right? I told you he was controlling this. He's only back in the court with, you know, got Walker again? Judge Delker. Judge Delker, they turn around and kick it out of Manchester to give it to Delker in Brentwood, right? Can you say consolidating the corruption so it can't get the fuck out? And you know what we're going to do? We're going to give Delker a big kiss in the ass. We know what we're going to do. We're going to put him on the Supreme Court. That's right. You know who would have appointed that? Van Ostrand. Bad luck with Van Ostrand. Listen, I ain't happy with Sununu either. I just sent you a subpoena, by the way. Right, remember Bedford Mafia? Well, you're going to get to explain that. So that's Delker's payoff. See? To control the drug deal. And you don't have to guess. I showed you the fucking list now, didn't I? I showed you the list video that only offered me $50 fucking million. You know what's worth $50 million? This. Do you know when they offer you that much money? When you can put their ass in jail. Now I remind you, who asked for a release? Signed, by the way. Well, the IRS did. The DRA. The banking departments, which I said laundering drugs. Did you hear that, Jerry Little? I'm not done with your ass either. Now, Bill Shaheen, Alex Walker, CCR, right? $50 million. You got it? Didn't take the money. Want to put their asses in jail. And this is him asking for a release. This is Walker again. Now you tell me, how is it that I'm being sued by these two entities, Shaheen representing them, when I can only put them in jail for 100 fucking years? Did I say attempted murder, you assholes? Brian Toomey would tell you that. They put me in fucking jail to kill my ass. Now, you know what saved me? Insight. You know what's going to put them all in fucking jail? Same thing. You know what? I can't change oil, and I'm bad at a lot of things. But the things that I'm not, I'm pretty fucking good at. Which explains why I made about $500 million. Alright? From nothing, where I mind you. And fuck that shit. This is what I'm doing. This is what I've dedicated my last 10 years for. Justice in this state so your children have a future. Alright, I digress. So let's take it to the courts. That's how they gotta do it. They gotta stop me. Red-handed. Here's the corrupt bastard Anderson. Right? You only had 6 fucking cases. DRA, summary judgment, dickhead, Attorney General's office, don't forget. He's on it. Summary judgment. No witnesses. No evidence. Anderson. IRS, I said, we don't need no witnesses. You lose. And hey, I'm going to appeal this. I'm going to appeal it right to Conboy. Conboy, who only was the partner in McLean Law Firm. You understand how they do this? So when you appeal the case to the Supreme Court, you get their own pinheads for McLean and Wiggins that shoot you down. You can't fucking win. And that's why they can act criminally, because there's no checks and fucking balances, because they all work for Bill Shaheen and Alex Walker. McLean Law Firm. Why do you think they're all from McLean? We're just lucky? Is that the only fucking law firm in the state that can make an AG? It appears that way. All right. So now, what you're going to see now is that here's Ben Ostrand, by the way, with Delker. Too bad for that, huh? Must have broke your fucking heart. All right. So now, they're in the court. That's why they're consolidating all this. So let's go to the DRA. Now, the DRA would be the leveraging pace. Hey, Mike, you owe millions. No, I don't. I don't owe anything. It was the tax return forgery. Now, when I turn around and had a meeting with them, here it is here. Went on for 2.5 hours. Then we sent them a 91A recently. Carolyn Delaney was running the DRA, whose husband used to be Michael Delaney, well, I guess he's still Michael Delaney, the asshole who works in McLean versus the fucking AG. Right? How's that for an operation? So, in this video, it should be 2.5 hours, right? 6 minutes. Hello? Goodbye. That's what they recorded. You can't, but I had people in there that we can testify. I put them all in fucking jail. Right? It was all a lie. 6 minutes. But you'll love this with Delaney. She sent me again these letters to threaten me. We'll take your business, we'll close you. They've attached my properties. I'll put you in jail for it. But guess what? When I send her also the information and the evidence on September 15th, you won't believe this, but because then I'll show it to you. She fucking resigned the next fucking day. September 16th. No kidding. How do you like that? Right? So there's the DRA. They go to jail. Now, who do you think has the control over the DRA? Oh, I don't know. Shaheen and Walker and McLean. There you go. Hey, there's not a piece out of fucking place here. This is checkmate if you're paying attention. And listen, the higher the wall, that's where they are. Do you see a higher wall than the Adjutant General of the United States and a couple of fucking senators? Right. All right. Now let's go to the Banking Commission. The Banking Commission tries to get me, the filthy bastards, to redo my tax return. As the DRA said. The DRA said, we'll let you go. Could you just redo your 2011 tax return? Oh, really? No. That's why Delaney resigned. So the banking department, again in AG's operation, this is Mary Witt. Well, Mary Witt, we can't even get her fucking name from her. I mean, they have all problems. Where did you work for? Oh, I don't know. I'm not telling you. Oh, she worked for the AG. So you see the video, follow the head. I have a hearing as they're leveraging, what they tried to do was work with Brian Toomey and Carrie and Isa Crane. All right? My people, to reclassify the notes to legitimize the DRA and get them off the hook for the tax return and the DRA. The Banking Commission did that. And then when I called them up and wanted a hearing, they didn't want a hearing, I wanted a hearing. You see the evidence that they took? Everything was redacted. They were reading from a blank piece of paper. No shit, you get to see it. I still don't know how the fuck they did it. I asked them, I show you it's completely black. That's the evidence. When I asked the chairman, I go, hey, listen, is that? Yes, it is. Okay. So what they wanted to do was reclassify their notes. And then when I refused to pay for their criminality, they're threatening to take my license. Good luck. I'll see you next week, Jerry. No shit.
Drafted RSA 397A. It actually, with respect to non-depository institutions that we're dealing with, that the legislature in that area did not leave any discretion to make something public.
Thank you. So I'm going to grant the department's motion to seal.
Of course you are.
And you're certainly welcome to use that exhibit during the
Well, I'm
hearing.
going to report you to the Department of Justice with this. Don't worry, we get it all on camera. Keep going.
Would the department like to proceed with its case?
Yes. Please turn to Exhibit 4. And I know there's a lot of black on there, so we can talk about that in a second. Can you tell us what we're looking at here?
This would be the kind of the cover page response of the document request list.
Excuse me, object. Where is this page that we're referring to that's completely redacted?
I just said we will explain the redaction in just a moment.
Well, how can you explain a redaction that we can't see? I mean, there's a lot of redactions through this whole thing now, isn't there? Now, why is there so many redactions? Can I ask the hearing on that? Why do we have all these redactions?
We will find out.
Well, it's a cover-up is what it is. And where they came at, that's why it's redaction. Hey, listen, if it's all sealed, why redact, right?
Proceed with your questioning, please.
who provided, where did this document come from?
Well, wait a minute, object again. Is this the document?
Is
It's
that
not a
Exhibit 4?
document. Is it?
It is a document.
This is a document.
Yes, it is.
Completely
It's a-
redacted. This is a document that we're going to refer to as evidence, right? Then if we are, then I don't think anything should be redacted.
It's a document that the department is seeking to place into
Oh, I
evidence.
can't use it as evidence in this hearing, and they're even referring to it. A black page.
It's up to them to demonstrate and say, explain
Well, isn't it
for
up-
me what it is.
Well,
So
how
please
can you
proceed.
explain what it is if it's redacted?
Please
How about
proceed.
we start by saying this?
Mr. Gill,
Why is it redacted?
please proceed. Attorney
We're
Wyatt,
testifying on evidence that's on a black page.
the attorney just stated that she would
What, tell us what it says?
have the witness testify
Well, I
as to
don't
that.
trust it.
Well, I want to hear it as well as you do, so why don't
Well,
we
I don't want
continue?
to hear it. I want to see it as they're prescribing it as evidence today.
All right.
We're putting
Duly
in
noted. Thank
evidence
you.
that is a black piece of paper that's completely redacted. And can we have, how about this? Does this seem fair to you?
I would like her to proceed with the question.
Could we have
And then
this
when you have-
unredacted so
when
she
you have-
can read it and I can read it at the same time? Does that seem fair?
At this moment, I would like the department to continue its question.
Wait a minute.
Thank you.
Do we
No,
have
thank you.
this
Please
page
continue.
non-redacted?
Please continue.
We're asking
The
for...
department,
Thank you.
the department has, I can offer the reason this is redacted is to enable this to be a public document. The portions that pertain to the issues in the order to show cause are not redacted, as you will see when Ms. Cloutier continues her testimony.
Can we read that page then? Can
The
we see
department-
that evidence?
If this
The
needs to come
department is
in,
explaining that they are covering up and they're giving evidence on redacted paper
Ms.
that says
Cloutier,
nothing.
Thank
Then
you.
how about, I
Thank
mean,
you. I
Ms.
think you
Cloutier,
made your
can you-
point.
No,
I understand
no.
your point. I'm going to ask the department to proceed. I would also ask you to be respectful to me and to the tribunal. At this point in time, I would like to hear the department move along. You will be offered the opportunity to ask questions.
well, you do aware I am filing a complaint with the Department of Justice. I mean, this is we're testifying on black paper.
Please proceed.
You're not taking my license. I'm putting your fucking ass in jail. Do you know Jerry Little? He's your banking commissioner. He was a state senator just a few fucking months ago. Maybe you see me on a video going doing the laundry. You know, drug laundering. So this asshole passes a bill. It's his bill, Jerry Little, that says the banking department no longer has to investigate or examine credit unions and banks in the state. As long as you're running a good operation, we don't want you to go through the expense. Oh, I don't know. Do you remember I had a fucking parking lot? A football field in a length long? 4 boxes high? Wow. I'm glad you're so fucking concerned. Not to me. In fact, you're looking for me for $155,000. How's that for a fucking audit? They came up with... That's right. I got you. See? That's what they do, and that's how they're leveraging. They're leveraging real simple. So I don't tell you this, right? So remember now, the AG's office. Where did Head come out of working with the banking? AG. Delaney's husband was only the AG. Witt, who was working with the bank department, from the AG. Are you getting this? This was systematic. All of this was planned and organized. I'm playing chess with him, I can tell you. So, what we're going to do is go to Washington at the very, very highest level. And we're going to bring this. And it turns out Mr. Trump don't like the IRS either. He thinks they're corrupt. And I've got a bunch of fucking unanswered letters over the last 3 fucking years that says that they are. And if we question it, we get the Adjutant General on tape. All right? So now, think about this. This is what this means. Let me close by having you understand what we have here. I know that this is complicated. Not for me, but I know that it is. What I'm telling you, this will happen. investigated. Walker gets arrested. Divine Millimat's got a lot of questions to ask. Okay? Bill Shaheen gets fucking arrested. He only extorted me for $100,000, only extorted my controller, Lisa Tracy, and is coordinating in Delker's court, whose best buddy is Rogenberg, who was Lisa Tracy's attorney, who only the director of Shaheen and Gordon. And then you got this asshole Delker with his arms around Van Osteren, who's a clone for, that's right, Shaheen. Listen, we took out AR. I'm taking these assholes out too. So Shaheen gets closed down, goes to fucking jail. Ayotte fucking retires. We turn over an AG's office to do their fucking job instead of being the people who cover up all the crimes in the state. See, Alex Walker, they only tried to kill me 3 fucking times. He goes to jail. And what happens to the drug dealers when they lose their cover? Shaheen lost Clinton. And then we get Shaheen get kicked in the balls, and then we get the fucking drug dealers. So let's recap. I get the AG's office. I get Bill Shaheen, the cause of the corruption in the state. I point out the law firms that are corrupt in the state. We get Walker. We get the IRS. We get the DRA. Is there somebody left? Right. We get them all. And I am going to get them all. So all I'm going to ask you to do is turn around and say, I want this investigated if you comment. I want this investigated. You want to know what you can do? Is that too fucking much? I want it investigated. I just want to show Mr. Trump the numbers. But we are going to go there. And they're all going down. See? All of it. And it's all hard evidence. Mike Gill, State of Corruption.